You have reached the Geek Elite. Good luck.
Mitch and Elizabeth are getting married. We're getting hitched.
We're getting hitched.
There will be no less than 3 things that go wrong, one of which will be major.
And you're not going to be attending unless you're on the list.
Biggest air quotes possible, because perfect is an illusion.
That's right, Mitch and Elizabeth are getting hitched, and we are 32 weeks away from the wedding. Elizabeth, how are you?
Doing well. We're here with my maid of honor and my best friend, Mary.
That's right.
You can now speak, Mary. It's okay.
I am getting to meet Mary for the first time in person. So
it's wonderful.
So it is great to finally meet you. I think the first thing we have to talk about, though, is my messaging you on Facebook out of the blue.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you brought this up. I was like, I have to figure out a way to get this in. I'm so proud of this.
Because when I was going to ask Elizabeth to marry me, I needed to know her ring size, obviously. Now, I
did not know it.
I knew that I could probably go and ask her mother, but I didn't think that was the best idea.
Yeah, no, my mother would not have been able to keep it a secret
She wouldn't
that
have
long.
been able to keep it a secret. And I don't exactly know if you would have been able to keep a secret, but you were both could and could not at the same time. So
I'm very good at keeping secrets if I have to. It just kills me to do so.
So I believe that Facebook message went a little bit like this. Hi, I know that we haven't actually met yet, but I need to know what Elizabeth's ring size is. Do you happen to know what it is, or can you find out?
And I was like, I have no idea what it is. It's bigger than mine. I was like, give me 3 days, and the next time I talk to her, I'll have it.
But the message before that was, are you planning to ask her to marry you?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mary's like, wait, I need to confirm.
I'm sorry, who are you? I haven't met you yet.
You're not allowed.
I don't want to do a power move and be like, sorry, you can't marry her without my permission. But I was also like, I have not vetted you. What if you're a crazy person who's gonna murder her later? Gotta make sure that's not a thing.
I mean, I hope at this point.
Confirmed, he does not seem to be like a murderer.
Okay, good.
But you heard it here first.
But that being said, this could look really bad in a couple of years.
This will definitely be on the documentary series on Netflix.
Yeah, that being said, this can make me look real bad later.
So yes, that's how those messages went, and eventually you got back to me with, this is her ring size, and I went and got the ring resized in her size. However, the part that I didn't know about was how that conversation between the two of you actually went. So I don't know, Elizabeth, would you like to explain it, or Mary, would you like to explain it?
Well, I'll start, and then Mary will just jump in where she'll start laughing and correct me. So I get a phone call from Mary randomly, and she's like, hey, I found a ring I really like, and I want to get it just for myself. She's like, but how do you know your ring size? How do you figure that out? I'm like, well, you go to the jeweler, and they'll give you a tool to check your ring size. And she's like, yeah, but what? I'm probably an 8 or a 9. And I'm like, no, Mary, I'm an 8.5. There's no way your fingers are that big.
Slide.
And once we got engaged and Mary told me that that's what she had been doing, it was the exact same conversation in reverse from a time in college when we were talking about sizes of clothing. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely my bra size. And I'm like, and she's like, there's no way that's your bra size. She's like, cause that's my bra size. And there's just no way that's the case.
Thought that she and I had the same bra size. And I was like, Beth, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but nobody looking at us is going to believe that we are the same size chest.
So was that so you could buy her a bra? Is that why you pulled that move?
No, it was literally just
Beth was telling us how, like, she was like, oh, like, I'm this size. And I was like, no, you're not.
Because this is the stuff girls talk about.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, but I am. Because, like, even my roommate who works for Victoria's Secret just got me one for a gift for my birthday. And that's the size. And Mary's like, no, it's not.
I just was like,
No,
it's not. Like, I'm going to bet my literal life, like, it's just not. Or I need you to put on one of my bras to, like, prove it to me. Like, because I cannot comprehend this. Spoiler alert.
Mary was
We were
right.
not the same size. Thanks for saying it. I was right.
My roommate had lied to me and cut out the tags, and she had just said they had accidentally come out when she'd pulled out the actual tag. But no,
So-
she just didn't know how to tell me that I didn't know my bra size.
Just very sneaky.
Why? I don't understand the being secret. No, you don't know your bra size. Like, that'd be helpful information for you in the future.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it'd be like someone telling, like, a curly-haired person, like, you don't know how to do your hair properly, or, like, I don't know. Like, it could really
Hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah, like,
Make
it
them
could,
feel like they were not... Like, women feel like they're supposed to know certain things about themselves and about how to do things.
Yes, yeah.
And so if you get to a point in your life and somebody goes, no, really, you actually have no idea what you're doing as an adult female, it's like, ow, that kind of hurts.
I mean, it'd just be like someone being like, you have no idea how to hold your boobs in. I'm sorry. It'd be like, I know how to do that, okay? Like, I've been wearing bras for a long time now.
However, if I were to be like, oh yeah, no, I wear a size 8 shoe, and my friend was like, no, you're like 4 inches taller than me. There's no way you have a size 8 shoe. Like, it should be bigger. And I went later on to buy size 8 shoes, and my feet just did not fit in it. I'd be like, well, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I be buying size 8 shoes? Like, you want something that's going to be comfortable.
Yes.
It's just
different.
It's just different. I don't know how to explain it, but it can
They're
just
so equivalent.
This is just your guys'
it's just
pride.
not. It's just something like you just need your good friend to tell you we're the same size, yo.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's the secret behind it. Was there anything else to that conversation on your end about the ring size?
Oh, I just remember I was like, I have to play this very cool because I don't actually like rings. I told Beth, I was like, well, I'm thinking about like really hinting hard to my former boyfriend about us like getting married and being like, and this is like my ring size. Fun little fact for you. Hint, hint, hint. Oh yeah. Because I generally, Beth and I feel like we'd talked maybe 3 days before, and so if I'm like calling her back, asking her about rings, just randomly, without like any selfish
Pretense?
motive on my end, I'm like, oh, Kat's gonna be out of the bag. She's very smart. I'm like, I have to be very sneaky about this, and if that involves totally lying, one's got to do what one's got to do,
It's true. It's true.
For the record, I did not remember Beth's ring size. Like, if someone was like, what was it? I'd have been like...
As soon as you typed it in, it was gone out of your head.
Like, I'd like written it down, so it was like, after I like threw that piece of paper away and had sent it to you, I was like, well, I'll never need to know that information again. Like, that's Mitch's job to remember that now.
I'm going to tell you right now, I did not remember it until she said 8.5 right now.
Well, it's a good thing those Facebook messages get backed up.
That's true. That's true.
I assume they do.
I have to write a little index card and leave it somewhere in the house.
I can't even remember my own ring size. Like, someone asked me that the other day, and I was like, I have no fucking clue.
Guys, I still don't know what my ring size is. I never got measured.
You didn't need to.
Why would I go to a mall if I didn't need to? Those are the worst.
Well, thank you, Mary. Thank you for
You're welcome.
the subterfuge and getting that information.
I liked it. You gave me an first interaction was like, hey, do you want to like be sneaky with me about Beth? And I was like, yes.
Perfect bonding opportunity.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true. Okay, so what we like to talk about here is weddings, because this is a wedding podcast. This is all about us planning our wedding. Now, how often have you been a part of the wedding, the bridal party, or maid of honor?
I've never been a maid of honor.
So this is your first.
This is my first, and also, I hope my last.
Okay.
Not quite. I'm not. Let me put it this way. Beth and I have different skills. I am not like a big gun-ho planner. And, well, before we started recording, I was saying, like, I just don't love, like, all the pomp and circumstance. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of wedding stuff where I'm just like, you don't need that. It's just a waste of money. You don't need that. No one remembers that. I guess so. I didn't know that until I was in like a whole bunch of weddings or like had attended them. So
it's a true accountant. You don't need that. That's a waste of money. You don't need that. That's a waste of money.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm really leaning into that accountant stereotype there.
Mary just typically brings the party.
There you go.
Like for a long time though, I was telling Beth, like, people who, like, especially now that I'm older, I would be like, I would not invite them to my wedding, but like I was invited to theirs when we were a lot younger. I was like, I kind of got the feeling they didn't really like me all that much or whatever. But then after like a couple of weddings, I was like, oh, but I always like will be out on the dance floor and be like, yeah, this is fun. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's why. Everyone needs that one person to like hold down the dance floor when everyone else gets tired, where I'm like, oh my God, no, this is my jam. I have to keep going.
That's the family's just like, why did you invite the very angry lady over there to the wedding? Just wait. You'll see. The reception?
I wouldn't say I'm angry. I'm like, oh yes, love is so beautiful.
Good.
And these $30 bunches of flowers
that are just going to die.
Are so lovely. For now. I just say the other part. I'm like, oh yeah, they're so beautiful. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, and a bit of a waste of money in my opinion, but to each their own. For the record, I do like flowers.
She just doesn't understand spending all the money on it.
I'm just anti-party favor for the most part.
Just get to the party.
Thing. Yeah.
That's Mary. Just get to the let's get to the dancing.
Yeah. I think the anti-party favor may just be because we've attended so many weddings, so we have so many of the same party favors.
I mean, fun fact, it's just a bunch of plastic, and I end up throwing it away after a year where I'm like, oh, that was such a fun wedding, but this is completely useless to me, and I need to purge it.
Except for our stuff at our wedding you're going to keep forever.
Well, what is your stuff?
I don't know.
I don't want a lot. Okay, I'll probably eat that. But once again, candy, that'll rot your teeth.
And that's just dentist appointments, which is more money.
Which is just more money. I knew it. You guys are in on with the dentists.
Big dental.
Big dental.
So one of the first things that I know about you, or I knew about you in your two relationship, was when Elizabeth and I first started dating. She went to Phoenix to go to a wedding with you, or you went to a wedding with her. So
I was Mary's +1.
Okay.
Beth is always my +1. I don't want to scare you, but like I will always be.
It's understandable.
The +1.
I get that. You know what? And it's okay. I've accepted it.
Okay. Oh, great.
I just want to know what was your thought when you were at that wedding, when she was just constantly texting me.
Oh, I don't remember her constantly texting me.
Oh, how dare you?
Sorry, I don't want to say that I wasn't even thinking about you, but I was just like, all right, some guy Beth seems to like, but like, is he me?
No. I guess that's what I'm more asking about. Being her best friend, what did you think of a new guy coming into her? Like, what did you think of? What'd she say about me?
What did she say about you? I feel like she was like almost shy about talking about you, like where she was kind of like, oh, like yeah, I've just been seeing this guy. He's, cool. And I'm like thinking like,
big old nerd.
yeah, okay, I do remember that where she was like, oh, and like he likes this. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And she's like, it's like a Star Wars thing. And I was like, oh, that's why I don't know. Oh, okay. Or like, she's like, I like... like this, or like it's like, and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
For clarification,
like, it's a superhero thing, and I was like, oh, okay.
Cool. Is he a child?
No. I was like, oh my god, he sounds like a huge nerd or a geek.
For clarification, Mary has never seen any of the Star Wars movies.
You're not missing it.
Okay, no, I've watched the first one. Okay, like kind of, and I remember R2D2, like or whatever guy, and then I don't know his name, but the golden guy who's very uptight, and I was like, this guy needs to get a grip, and I was like, and that's really something. Like he's like way too anxious, and he just needs to go to therapy to talk it out. And I was like, and that's really saying something because like I'm a very anxious and like uptight person. And I was like, and if I'm telling you that, like that should be a real wake up call. And that's really all I remember from Star Wars. And then my niece liked Darth Vader, who's the bad guy. I do know that.
Sure.
From probably Pitch Perfect.
No, I don't know that. I don't know how Darth Vader and Pitch Perfect make sense.
Have you watched Pitch Perfect?
I have.
Okay.
Many a time. Pitch Perfect was a real big thing, like senior year of college.
So there's a whole scene where she makes fun of Skylar Astin or whatever his name is, the guy she likes, for not realizing that Darth Vader is his father because Vader means father
in German.
Oh, I did not know that. I mean, I did know that he was a dad, but I did not know that.
It's okay.
Did not know that.
Okay.
Also, don't speak German, so there you go. But then Darth Padre, I think I might have picked up on it.
You might have picked up on it. That's fair enough. So, being part of a bridal party, what's some of the things that you have enjoyed at a wedding?
I do like the dresses.
Okay.
I don't mind those at all. I feel very cute. And I don't mind taking pictures. I think that's a lot of fun. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the only time I'm going to get a professional photo taken of myself. I might as well look real good for it.
Professional makeup and professional photo.
I mean, I don't always do that. But, I mean, they always hire a photographer. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh yeah, like it's my time. Photoshop. Or, yeah, beauty.
Photo shoot.
Thank you. Yeah. And I think it's just a lot of fun to, like support your friend. Be like, hey, this is like, I'm really happy for you. This is a really exciting time. And just like being able to support them while they're getting married.
She has a lot more opinions about things that she doesn't love at weddings.
It's true.
Why don't you ask that one then?
So we have attended a lot of weddings together, and we have dissected a lot of weddings together. So I actually know most of these answers, but I'll let you say them. Your least favorite things at weddings, or the things that people do at weddings that drive you crazy.
Okay. So I have quite a few.
Okay.
I have quite a few opinions.
Everybody ready?
And I would say there's like a couple of cardinal sins. I was raised Catholic, and so one of them is your ceremony can't go like beyond like an hour and 15. If you're going longer than a Catholic wedding, you just shouldn't be.
It's just not permitted.
Yeah. And
that's the point where Mary just gets up, walks out of the
like where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like someone needs to tell the priest, because it's always a priest that goes over. It's always a Catholic wedding. I'm like, just wrap it up. Like, it is beautiful. It is great. But people are starting to get hungry and they're going to need like a drink. Which brings me to my next thing. Do not starve your guests. Don't make them wait to eat too long. And I don't like cash bars. I don't mind paying for a drink, but I hate when it's cash only because I never carry cash. And then I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to get a drink? I really need a drink. I just sat through like an hour and a half wedding ceremony. in heels. And I just really need a drink. So I think things like that. I was at a wedding where they did all of the speeches beforehand, and they just let like everyone come up and say something if they wanted to, and went on forever. And I was like, oh, I'm so hungry, and I just want to eat and also hear how much like these people love my friends. But I also just really want to eat. So I would say like those are like some really big things for me. And then I'm just going to put it out there. Party favors are totally unnecessary because people throw them away and no one generally remembers them. As a general rule. Some people might be like, well, mine, and they might have a really good point. But generally, if like people are stressing about like paying for their wedding, they can totally get rid of party favors and no one will notice. Your food doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to be like mediocre. That's my standard for food.
At weddings, at least.
Yeah, like no one expects, like a 300-person wedding to have like the most amazing food that they've ever had. If anyone is, it's lower your expectations. Sorry, Grandma.
Grandma isn't in support of a 300-person wedding anyway.
Yeah.
What is the most delicious meal you've ever had at a wedding, if you can remember it?
I can think of one item at a wedding that we raved about, and we almost stole the whole thing.
Like, wait, the garlic mashed potatoes?
The white cheddar garlic mashed potatoes?
Yeah, those were really good. And then I think they also had really good rolls.
Yeah.
I think someone had, like tacos or something that I really, really liked. But I also just really like
Tacos.
a good street taco. Yeah. And I was like, gosh, I love tacos. This is so great.
Yeah. I think that's... We pretty much raved about the food.
The food is just not, maybe for like the first 6 months memorable, where it's like that was like that what exceeded my expectations, but I don't really like wedding cake a whole lot. So I don't know. The food just doesn't normally like stick out. Normally what I always say, like, if you have a really memorable wedding, like that's not good, because generally like the things I remember are it's where it was like, yeah,
it was miserable.
Like it was 115 degrees and there wasn't any shade during the ceremony or something. And it's like, and I was like severely sunburnt because I sweat all my sunscreen off or something, like stuff like that, where it's like, if I'm like, oh, I remember that wedding very well. I mean, there are some that I do remember. I'm like, that was so much fun. But
it's
like
more of a general feeling of, I remember that being a good wedding.
Yeah. I don't remember the specifics, but like if there was something where it was like, oh, I remember that, and like it was not good. It was not like this specific thing happened, and like it really marred the experience. I'm such a downer about weddings. I'm really glad you guys are getting married. I'm really excited for you, I promise.
I remember we really liked the food at Spencer and Elizabeth's wedding.
I think they had the
really
taco
good.
truck.
No, they did. They brought in pizza from Omaha, the pizza place that Rosie always talks about.
I can't remember the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they did late night pizza.
Wait, so someone did a taco truck and I liked that. Well, I don't remember.
I don't remember who did the taco truck. But yeah, no, I remember the appetizers being really good, and my steak was really good at their wedding.
Yep, see, I don't remember any of that. I do remember though, very positive feelings about their wedding.
She remembers having a good time.
Yeah, I do remember. I was like, when I look back, I'm like, very positive feelings. Enjoyed that. Good wedding. Good job.
So, as a person that's been a part of a lot of weddings, what's a piece of advice you would give to Elizabeth and myself for our wedding day?
For the day of. I think maybe make sure that you have someone who Like, it's not your parents, not in like the bridal part or the wedding party, to kind of be able to answer some of the questions. I don't know if Beth will actually have this problem because she's so organized. But other weddings, like where it hasn't been as organized or there's questions where the bride or the groom are having to field a lot of questions. So it'd be nice to have someone else who can do that, which I'm pretty sure Beth already does. So I don't think Beth needs any advice coming from me. I'm very bad at planning stuff, and Beth is very, very good.
Okay, that's fine. It's still advice. It's still advice for anybody that's listening. So, do you have any other questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, Mary and I could sit here and talk for 3 days, but
yeah, we could.
I feel like that's a bit of a long podcast.
I bet someone would listen to it.
I'll just keep you guys
Probably.
mic'd and we'll go for the rest of the time.
Oh my gosh, that would be so bad.
If there is any other advice out there that you'd like to give to Elizabeth and I, please reach out to me. I'm on Twitter. I'm at Mitchipedia GEM. GEM stands for Geek Elite Media. Elizabeth, where can people find you?
You can find me with the rest of Geek Elite Media at Geek Elite Media and our Facebook page /Geek Elite Media.
Check out our website, geekelitemedia.com, for archived episodes of this podcast and other podcasts on our network. And whatever podcatcher you use, please rate and review us so it helps spread the word of our network. But until next time, this is Geeking to the Chapel on the Geek Elite Media Network, saying always remember to...
Geek out!
Geek out!
This concludes our broadcast. Beep.